So let's get ourselves into a comfortable seat. Make sure it's something you feel like you can hold for about 15 or so minutes. Make sure you're warm. Whatever cross of the legs you went to do the opposite one so that you really bring yourself to a nice, even base. Slide the hands out to the knees. Close your eyes. Just give the body a moment to recalibrate to the seated position. And when you feel ready, just start to invite that conscious breathing. So that long inhalation that comes in at around the height of the diaphragm, or the latitude of the low ribs and diaphragm, the pause at the top of the breath, and then a slow exhalation that narrows the waist, brings the breath all the way down to the place between the navel and the pubic bone, so quite low in the body. Feel that exhalation complete itself at the hara. Feel free to add that little puff out of the breath if that works for your body. Pause for a moment at the switch over. Slow, steady inhalation. We take the breath in. Natural pause at the top of the inhale. Maybe clearing the breath at the bottom of the exhale. Now start to work towards finishing the breath that you're on. We're going to go into some Analoma extended exhalation. Today we're going to use some digital pranayama. So slow, steady inhalation here for a count of 10. So lower, middle, upper. Take the breath in. Pause and hold the breath, count of 10. Chin down, Jalandhara Bandha. Sitting bones come together, Mula Bandha. And then we'll make a prana mudra with the hands. Bring the hands up towards the nostrils, close off both. Partially open the left and slow exhale. Lower the right hand. Inhale for a count of 10. Cap the breath top and bottom. Hold count of 10. Prana mudra, digital, close off both nostrils, partially open the right, slow exhale. Lower the right hand. Inhale for 10. Hold 10. Two locks. Raising the right arm up, close both, partially open the left, exhale. Now starting in your own time, lower the hand, So on that inhalation, you want to slow it right down. If you can't inhale for a count of 10, that's okay. Go count of 8. Do what you can. When you get to the hold of the breath, that full breath hold, that suspended moment is where a lot of the alchemy happens. So really work on the root lock underneath you, bringing the sitting bones together, chin lock just underneath you as you draw the chest upwards towards the chin. Soften your face. Advanced practitioners, you can apply downwards a little as if you were just moving the kind of vacuum of the hold of the breath downwards a little into the pelvic cavity. When you're working on that slowed down exhalation, the analoma, that's the extended exhalation. That's the name of the breath. That's what we're working on here. So you want to use that only slightly opened half of the nasal cavity to thin the breath right down, to thin the breath, so that without strain, you just very easily, very naturally let that breath go. And it should feel fairly even from the beginning to the middle to the end. It's not like we kind of rush a whole lot out at the beginning. But try and pace it out here. Try and pace it out. As you get to the end of the exhalation, you might, if you feel to, you can just add through the nostril that little puff out and just clear the lungs. So get that real closure, that real emptying of the breath here. Stay with it. If ever you need to take a round of natural breath in between rounds, just let yourself do that. Sometimes there can be that you need to just recalibrate the oxygen, carbon dioxide levels. So just listen for that if you need to do it. Now, in the last few moments or the last few minutes of the sequence, now that we've got ourselves into this beautiful, deep state, next is to start to invite, should you choose it, the higher self to now start to use this exhalation of breath to just clear through anything that is ready to shift at this time. You don't need to think, there's nothing intellectual here. Just if you choose it, just ask your higher self's permission for assistance to clear through whatever they feel is ready for you to release at this point. Let's just start to fine tune the energy a little bit and now start to work with some of our energy being. Just about another 3 minutes left. Slow it down. Work with the alchemy that's available here. That in-breath's like pouring clean water into a jar. Holding of the breath is like a percolation. The exhale of the breath is where the mud, the clean water, forces the mud to come up and out of the jar, the debris, the detritus. Just let that inhalation keep pouring that clean water in. Let that exhalation keep moving that debris out. Just coming into a beautiful co-creative space with not only with the breath, but with the energy of the body, with the circumstance of the body. We'll start moving into final round now. So one more round after the round that you're on. So that's left nostril, right nostril. We finish on the right. Don't rush this last round. Anything, slow it down. When you're finished exhaling through the right nostril, and don't rush. Inhale, raise the head. And exhale, just sitting. Natural breath. No hurry. No agenda. Just to feel yourself clicked into that lovely neutral zone. Shedding of pressure around the skin, shedding of urgency, sitting in the space of spring, the space to grow into, the space to become into, the space to turn and look towards the options and the potentials available, the space to pivot, the space to choose. Just sitting. For the last few minutes, you might want to transfer yourself down to laying on your back and move yourself into a shavasana shape. That feels right for you today. Alternately, just stay seated and let the practice complete here. It can be good to stay seated if you are indeed practicing in the morning and the energy is still rising. If you're working with me live, or if you're doing this later and it's afternoon or evening, you can drop yourself down.